How's it going, everybody? RazingHel here, and welcome back to what is going to be the third mission in the Saladin's Conquest campaign called Aleppo, Consolidation of Power.
After successfully bruising Reynald's pride, Saladin leaves Kerak, marching north to Aleppo as reinforcements pour in from Jerusalem to rescue the wedding guests. The city of Aleppo has thus far resisted Saladin's rule with help from European troops from Antioch.
Bring Aleppo to its knees using the slave army supplied by the local emir. The city is heavily fortified, and you will have to plan carefully to fight your way through its two gates.
Okay, this is a relatively straightforward objective. We simply have to kill the enemy lord, and we are given all the time in the world to accomplish that. So let's get started. Oh, we're taking fire already. Probably should move those troops out of the way. So how is this all going to play out? Well, the thing is, this mission, let's say, introduces the slaves, the slave unit, to the player. That's basically the objective of the mission. And, you know, it's debatable whether it succeeds in that. Like, I think you can get to the mission without the slaves whatsoever, but they definitely do come in handy. So what I'm doing over here is I'm moving these assassins into position. They didn't want to do what I told them to do. We need to move them into position here to get on the wall on the south side of the castle, and then we're going to use them to take out those archers right there. Now, obviously, we're going to take some fire here from the archers, and it's certainly possible. Or the Arabian bowmen, they're not archers per se. Actually, get in there and attack them. I should have set them to defensive to begin with. We wanted to get rid of the archers in the tower, and then we're just simply going to move along here to actually get rid of those crossbowmen. This dude is running along in the ground, and we don't want that. I just want them to be on the walls. So, yeah, we're set to defensive, which is important. And then we took over the gatehouse, and let's continue on to this other lookout tower and remove the Arabian bowmen there as well. Now, obviously, we have a couple of swordsmen coming after us on the walls here, but that's not going to prove a problem because the assassins are simply going to jump off the wall. Actually, they just sort of fell off the map entirely for the enemy. I believe that's why they stopped aggroing me. Let's actually go ahead and get that gatehouse using some slaves, and then we'll also bring up the slingers and the Arabian swordsmen. The thing you might not know about slaves is while they can't attack walls, well, maybe they can. They can attack gatehouses. This is the interesting thing. You'll find they won't attack walls. Like if you click attack a wall, they won't attack it. But they can attack the gatehouse, which means you can sort of use them as this fast hit and run sort of troop. At certain points, like it's certainly context dependent. Whoa, let's back up there a little bit, Charlie. Didn't want them to all go pouring in like that. Some of them seem to have lost their way. We actually want the Arabian swordsmen to bear the brunt of all these swordsmen that are coming out. My goodness, there are a lot of them. Let's set this thing on fire. Let's get this going. The objective of the slaves was actually to set a lot of stuff on fire, but instead we pulled out those swordsmen, pulled out a lot of them, simply by letting the slaves crowd the gateway, so to speak. So that was less than optimal, I will admit. Didn't mean for that to happen, but let's go ahead and try to target one of these hovels anyway with some of the slaves I've left. We're taking some fire from the crossbowmen up there in that tower, and there go all of my slaves that I sent out. But you'll notice it did start a chain reaction of fire, so to speak, here, and hopefully that will kill off a few of these other swordsmen, so I don't have to sacrifice my Arabian swordsmen to do that. Now, I've gotten through this mission with fewer losses, and what I'm going to attribute the majority of those losses to is the fact that I apparently pulled out a whole lot of swordsmen, at least more than usual, by allowing those slaves to actually bust in there inside the gate. That was not a good thing, in my opinion. I think that actually did more damage than usual. Like, I'm not used to sustaining these sort of casualties when playing this mission. I've played it a few times before, obviously, just to sort of act as a refresher. Let's finish burning up these buildings here. We got a whole bunch of stuff going on. It would be nice if those, like if the slave lasted long enough that these swordsmen took some damage, and it looks like they did. At least 2 of them, I think, got significantly damaged from that fire. But we're going to have to bait them out. Like, I want this guy here to actually get closer to the wall, and that way all these slingers can throw rocks at him until he's dead, essentially. Yeah, and let's see if we can bait a few more of these. Obviously, the crossbowmen in that tower definitely pose a threat to my slinger here, but I think we have attracted the attention of these swordsmen here, and they should definitely get within range of my other slingers that are on the wall, and then they can take care of all of those swordsmen, so that way when I actually send my assassins over here to try to take that tower, I'm not actually going to have to deal with what would otherwise be the bunch of swordsmen spotting me. So let's get those assassins moving along. We actually have to run them through here. You can't get... There's too much of a cliff there. They can't just climb down it. But as long as the assassins can't be seen, the crossbowmen can't be shooting at them, which is quite important because the crossbowmen can take out the assassins in a pretty short amount of time. So we definitely want to allow them to get as close as possible before that happens. And they are now seen. So let's get up there in that tower. We're going to lose quite a few, but that's simply the price of progress here. Hopefully there will be enough left to actually take out the crossbowmen. Like, you'll see quite a few of the assassins are dropping like flies, but nope, they managed to take the tower, and now we can send them over to the gatehouse, open that up, and allow my swordsman, my Arabian swordsman inside. Let's also get the rest of these slingers up on top of that gatehouse if we can. Hopefully it'll help a little bit in terms of providing support to my Arabian swordsman. And now let's get the Arabian swordsman up in the keep and finish off the Lord for good. So there we go. Mission complete. Thank you very much for watching, as always, and I hope to see you next time.